When Maya encounters a boy who likes to fool around with different girls, she decides to teach him a lesson he'll never forget. In Maya's new school, Membley College, a pregnant girl named Kia walks by, eyed by her schoolmates. Then the guy who got her pregnant, Ian, walks past her as if she's a stranger. But when it's Maya who walks past Ian and his best friend, Ben, he turns to look, finding the next girl to take advantage of. In their classroom, Maya introduces herself, all while Ian and Ben stare intently at her. When the teacher thinks of a seat for Maya, Ian jokingly kicks Ben, his seatmate, to make room for the girl. Although the teacher ignores Ian's suggestion, he still considers it a win as he's made Maya laugh, which is more important. Beside Maya is a girl named Tamara. When Tamara spots Ian staring at Maya, she warns the new girl to not fall for him as he's already gotten many girls in the school pregnant. The school turns a blind eye thanks to Ian's popularity and the fact that most girls choose to terminate their pregnancies. Finding this interesting, Maya jokes that she'll be okay as long as she doesn't get pregnant, but Tamara just looks concerned. At lunchtime, Tamara complains to a girl named Lily that although she invited Maya for lunch, Maya wanted to eat with Ian. Ben comes to the table but Ian signals him to leave, so he's forced to eat with Tamara and Lily. But to Lily, Ian is so charming that if he'd spoon-feed her as he does with Maya, she wouldn't eat with Tamara either. However, Tamara knows Ian will dump Maya as soon as he gets inside her pants. Upon hearing this, Ben decides to make a bet, asking the girls how many days they think it would take for that to happen and annoying Tamara. But when Lily joins the bet and Maya and Ian walk past them, being excessively sweet, she changes her mind and thinks the two won't last long. Then Lily and Ben laugh. In class, the students stare at Maya and Ian. When they leave, Ben comes and entices everyone to join the bet. And so the bet begins. During the first day in gym class, Ian overpowers Ben amid cheering from the ladies. But their enthusiasm dies when Ian walks past them to Maya, taking a sip from her water bottle. On the second day, Ian is in a photo shoot with a trophy for the school magazine, when Maya interrupts to kiss his cheek, annoying the photographer. On day 3, while Maya and Ian are wrapped in their own world over lunch, Ben collects the bets of the students at the surrounding table. But when he spots Kia eating by herself, he skips her. Later, Kia finds Maya after throwing up in the ladies' room. She approaches Maya carefully to strike up a conversation, informing her that everyone's betting on how long it'd take for Ian to get into her pants. But instead, Maya asks Kia how long it took for Ian to get into hers, causing her to apologize for being so nosy. In her defense, Kia doesn't want Maya to end up like her. As she is about to go, Maya retorts that self-pitying won't do her any good. Unsure about what to say, Kia just chuckles before quietly leaving. Afterward, Maya makes out with Ian in the locker room. Then Maya asks Ian to recall the exact days they've known each other, which is just a little over 3 days. Maya tells him they still don't know each other well enough. To change Maya's mind, Ian sweet-talks her, saying love has nothing to do with time. After all, he knew he liked her since the first day. He also adds he'll do anything for her. Just to tease Ian, Maya thinks it's still too soon, asking him to wait for another minute. With the minute almost over, Maya counts down from 10. Ian then finishes the countdown for Maya and they kiss passionately. Maya takes control and pins Ian against the lockers, eventually kneeling and unbuckling the guy's belt. Later, Ian proudly shows Ben the kiss mark he got as a badge from the encounter. The two friends chuckle as Ian sets a new record for getting into a girl's pants. 3 days, 3 hours and 33 minutes. Now that the two have done the deed, Ben unloads the pile of money in front of everyone to see who won the bet. Tamara tells Ben to get on with announcing the winner, so he begins reading the guesses that are too unrealistic. But suddenly Maya arrives and asks what's going on. Everyone hushes as Tamara stands, stammering apologetically for joining the bet. Then Maya asks Ben about his bet and claims it's nothing to be ashamed of. As everyone shuffles uncomfortably, Maya decides to join in the announcement of the victor. She reads Tamara's guess, saying she's wrong but pretty close. After that, Ben hesitantly reads the next entry, which has the exact time. Impressed, Maya asks who the bettor is, and to everyone's surprise, it's Maya. While Maya's taking the money, Ian enters the room. Maya warns her classmates that, just like Ian, she is also a player. She leaves everyone muttering behind as she marches straight up to Ian with money in hand, telling him he got played. Humiliated, Ian looks at her furiously. Later, during gym class, Ian's head is elsewhere, giving Ben the easy win each round. Ben makes fun of him being rusty after spending time with Maya, asking inappropriate questions about the girl. Ian brushes him off, but he suddenly feels some pain. Despite Ben suggesting to call it a day, Ian insists on one more round. Afterward, in the restroom, Ian regains his composure by the sink when Maya arrives and charms him, asking if he's mad at her. Frustrated, Ian grabs and begins kissing her, all while Maya looks sorely unimpressed. He removes their undergarments and prepares to take Maya from behind, but Maya just taunts him because he can't get himself in the mood. After another failed attempt, Maya mocks Ian, saying they can just do it next time. Embarrassed, Ian puts his undergarment and pants back on before angrily leaving Maya behind. Outside, their classmates are eavesdropping. Suddenly, Maya comes out of the restroom and stops Ian from walking away, acting like a desperate girl. Ian says he wants to break up, causing everyone to whisper. Although Maya pleads that she can change, Ian just dismisses her because he doesn't like the way she looks at him. Maya still doesn't understand Ian, so the guy explains she objectifies him. Then Ian reminds her they were just having fun. When Ian turns to leave, Maya laughs hysterically, revealing she's just making a scene to make him feel like a man. At the same time, Maya points out that he objectified her too. However, she doesn't feel anything, but she says maybe after that day, Ian will start feeling something inside him. During lunch, Kia sits beside Maya, who's eating by herself. She thinks Maya is strange because she's not like other girls. Kia confides she realized too late that Ian wouldn't take responsibility. When Maya asks her what she feels about keeping the baby, Kia admits being happy. Maya asks if Kia wants Ian to take responsibility, but she just dismisses the question. At this, Maya smirks devilishly. Later, in the shower, Ian notices that something has changed in his body. Afterward, he decides to make out with Tamara in the locker room, but as he unbuttons his uniform, the girl looks down and suddenly screams. With Tamara leaving him alone, Ian looks down too and sees his belly has gotten bigger, surprising him as well. Back home, Ian joins his parents for dinner with a jacket on while holding his belly. When his father asks why he's wearing a jacket, he says he's just a little cold and assures his parents he's fine. He then starts eating, but he spits out the food on the table and thinks his favorite food is disgusting. He blames his mother's cooking for feeling sick, and it isn't long before he gets up to throw up. The next morning, Tamara shares with her classmates, including Ben, the incident she had with Ian. But they all hush down when Ian arrives early, his bag covering his belly. Ben sits beside Ian and asks him if he will practice later, but he just shakes his head. As soon as Ben eats his food, Ian rushes to the window and throws up. Shocked, Ben asks Ian what's wrong. But when Ben comments about Ian's belly getting bigger, Ian snaps and demands to be left alone before storming off. In the school change room, Ian stands in front of a mirror, staring at his growing belly. This makes him so uncomfortable. At school, during his photo shoot with the school female photographer. Because of the photographer's flirtations after the shoot, they fool around in the darkroom. However, the photographer accidentally leans on the light switch and turns the light on, seeing Ian's big belly. She too freaks out and leaves him alone, frustrated. Gripped by self-consciousness, Ian goes to the doctor. Thanks to the ultrasound, the doctor asks Ian if he's had surgery before because it appears he's pregnant. The possibility startles Ian, who reminds the doctor that he's a man. But to the doctor, Ian might be someone who's born with both male and female reproductive organs. In fact, his baby is a healthy girl he's been carrying for about 16 weeks already. Ian stares at the doctor and the monitor in disbelief, when he suddenly feels his baby kick inside, startling him. As the days go by, Ian finds himself getting more ostracized. He hears the photographer gossiping about the incident in the darkroom, and he gets so pissed that he slams his bag on the table and leaves. Ben goes after him, justifying his presence in the gossip groups because he just wants to know what's happening in Ian's life. He asks Ian to just tell him what's happening so he doesn't have to hear it from others. When Ben suggests going to a health clinic, Ian snaps and reveals he's pregnant. But just then, Maya calls Ian's attention and asks him to smile for the camera as she records the whole thing on her phone. Realizing what Maya's doing, Ian hurriedly leaves. Unfortunately, it's too late. Around school, the video Maya recorded has spread like wildfire. Students are making fun of Ian, with some believing he had it coming. All around him, Ian's life is crumbling. He's even forbidden from running as student president. Students are also disgusted when he throws up in public. Later at home, Ian stares at his huge belly in front of the mirror in his bedroom. Then he's haunted by visions of the girls he was involved with. One says he's probably just sick and another asks him to take some pills just like what he told her to do. There's also a girl who offers to take him to a place where he could terminate his pregnancy, the same place where he took her before. In the end, Maya comes and mockingly congratulates him for having a daughter before leaving him all alone in the dark. The visions overwhelm Ian so much that he throws his laptop away. Returning to school the next day, Ian wears a thick jacket to hide his belly. But as he gets some of his things from his desk, students watch him struggle. Ian then leaves with Ben calling after him. However, only Maya's call catches his attention. She mocks him and jokingly assures him she's not put off by his pregnancy. Unable to handle the negative attention, Ian leaves. In his room, Ian stares at himself on the magazine cover and reads through the pages that describe him as a model student, crying. Then his father knocks and asks if he's really pregnant. He also expresses his disbelief that Ian got himself into that situation. Enraged, Ian opens the door and tells his father not to say anything if he's not going to help him. Sadly, his father replies that he's nothing but trouble. Before leaving, his father tells him to terminate his pregnancy or never bother coming home, exacerbating Ian's feelings. Ian retorts that he never said anything when his father got his own secretary pregnant and had her terminate her pregnancy too. When all's said and done, Ian's left alone, crying in his room. He decides to move out and rents a room somewhere. In the dark, he eats his food but just spits it out. Frustrated, he punches his belly and regrets it because of the pain, causing him to groan in bed. In front of a mirror, he loathes his reflection. Afterward, he decides to take a pill which he just throws up. In another attempt, he takes more pills, but he later throws up blood and gets incapacitated by extreme pain. When Ian awakens in the bathroom the next day, the despair drives him to clutch a knife. He puts the knife over his belly, ready to stab himself when a knock interrupts him. Dropping the knife, he spots a figure outside the window. Ian stands and struggles as he heads to the door, but he only sees a girl with a red ribbon by the gate, already leaving. On the floor, however, is a card with 2 questions about his pregnancy. Upon reading them, it makes him wonder how he got pregnant and thinks of the last person he slept with, Maya. And so, disguising himself as a woman, Ian waits for Maya outside the school. He pulls her aside and demands to know what she did to him. But Maya just uses his words against him, saying they were just having fun. Then Maya leaves him behind. Later, Ian follows Kia while he's still in disguise. He calls her and starts walking slowly, struggling and apologizing for everything he did. Now that he understands how Kia feels, he's utterly regretful that he made her go through that situation alone. But Kia just stands there, assuring Ian that since that happened ages ago, she's not mad at him anymore. Instead, she thinks they were both to blame for what happened back then, but Ian disagrees. Besides, Kia is happy with her decision. She reaches out to hold Ian's hand and Ian hugs her. Finally, Kia bids him good luck and leaves him with a smile. Sometime later, Kia goes into labor. Thankfully, after the pain and struggle, she successfully gives birth to her child. Meanwhile, Ian also goes to the doctor, but he intends to terminate his pregnancy. After the doctor injects the anesthesia, Ian suddenly finds Maya beside him with a scalpel in hand, telling him he'll wake up in no time. He struggles as Maya poses the blade over his neck, but his resistance just ends when everything fades to black. However, the nightmare comes to an end when Ian awakens. The doctor gives Ian his baby, which freaks him out, saying he wants to get rid of the child. He also points out that he was only a few months pregnant, but the doctor states he carried his baby for the full term. When Ian reiterates he wants the baby gone, the doctor replies he can do it himself. And so, back in his room, Ian struggles with the baby crying beside him. Frustrated, he decides to strangle his daughter. But with his hands just a few inches from the baby's neck, he hesitates and begins crying when his daughter coos at him. Ian can't bring himself to kill his child. Instead, he chuckles through the tears when he notices wet spots on his shirt, realizing he's producing milk. So he carries his daughter and breastfeeds her, all while crying and apologizing. Just then someone knocks on the door. Carrying his baby, Ian opens the door and finds Maya outside, who kisses his daughter after thinking she's cute. Ian's glad to see her and he apologizes for what he did and vows to become a better man. All he wants is for her to come back. But Maya just stares blankly, turning Ian down as she only wants to gift him with baby supplies and check if he's a good parent. Seeing him step into the role has put her mind at ease. Despite Ian's pleas, Maya closes the door and walks away. That's when she finds a photograph of herself with scribbles all over it. Realizing more similar photos are on the floor, she throws away the picture and continues walking. Maya sees that some of her photos are even taped to the walls, and as she follows them, she eventually reaches the rooftop. The last picture she sees is of her and Ian just minutes ago with her face all scratched out. Then a red ribbon flies to her shoes. On the wall in front of her, she finds a message painted in red that says, "See you soon." Maya is a spirit with the purpose to take revenge on mischievous students. She is an embodiment of karma. Ian is one of her targets, and since he likes to knock up girls without thinking about consequences, he will get karma for his past actions. Also, for the last part, she is an antagonist of the story. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. It will really help our channel. Until next time, take care of yourselves.